in 1926 in honor of World War I fighters. Then the purpose of the building changed in the 1940s. In 1941, during World War II, that building was used as a naval aviation training facility. Now, to graduate from that training facility, all you had to do was successfully land on the aircraft carrier 8 times. It did not matter how many times he crashed. The youngest guy to do that, he landed 8, he crashed 3, he was uninjured. You might know his name, though. It was George Herbert Walker Bush. H.W. Bush, Bush Sr., former president, was the youngest graduate of the Navy Pier at 18 years old. Now, it sat empty for a while after the war, and then in the 90s, it underwent a $250 million restoration, turning it into the massive tourist attraction we know and love today.
The big screen is what she's looking at.
Yeah, I know. That's right. There's a ticket to ride a amusement park. There's a botanical garden with some plants on display. A glass museum. There's some glass on display.
Okay, we call you again.
A children's museum. There's some children on display. I think that's what it is. I've never been to one before. Highly recommend a visit to the Navy Pier. I will say it is free to go to the Navy Pier. It is not free to do anything else there. Now, to give you guys an idea of how tall the World's Fair's first Ferris wheel was, it was 60 feet taller than that one. So to just give you a rough idea of that. Now, that is actually the second most popular tourist attraction in the entire state of Illinois. Number 1, I can actually point to right now, right across the river, past those sailboat masts, you're going to see a large boat with a red chimney in the very center of it. It's a chimney stack. That large white boat is the Chicago Yacht Club. That is not the number 1 tourist attraction in the state. It is docked against the number 1 tourist attraction, which is Millennium Park. Millennium Park, again, that's where the J. Pritzker Pavilion and the Bean are. Now on the right-hand side, getting back into some architecture here, you're going to see this curved black building. Now this building is called Lake Point Tower, and the big rumor about Lake Point Tower is that Oprah Winfrey used to live here. I am here to quash that rumor. Oprah did not live in that building, but if you took this tour with the one hope of finding out where Oprah lived, your pride is a little bit weird, but I got you. I can't tell you where Oprah lived. Oprah actually lived in Water Tower Place. Water Tower Place is a mall in the Magnificent Mile in Chicago. If you do not know where the Magnificent Mile is, that is actually where the Wendella Boat Dock is on Michigan Avenue. Where the Wendella Boat Dock is at the beginning of the Magnificent Mile, the shopping area of the Loop. Now, a few celebrities have lived in this building. Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn, Scottie Pippen, just to name a few. Now, the building was built in the 1970s by the group Shipwright and Heinrich, students of Mies van der Rohe. They designed this building. It's called a 3-lobe construction pattern. If you're looking at that building from above, it looks like a giant fidget spinner. Now, that building was built in the 1970s, and the reason for its odd shape is it helps with the wind. The wind does not push that building. You've heard about buildings swaying in the wind. This building does not push that building, or the wind does not push that building at all. The wind just wraps around it. It wraps around it so fast, the people on the inside cannot open the windows. Now at the very top of Lake Point Tower there, you're going to see that circular piece. Now that circular piece, that is actually a French restaurant called Cité, spelled C-I-T-E with an accent over the E. Currently taking reservations. I will warn you guys though, it does not rotate. I know it looks like it should, but Cité does offer an amazing view of both the lake and the Cité. Last one, folks. We got through all of them. I am so proud of you. You're so strong. No one is making me say those jokes either. That is all my own volition. Now, folks, this bridge here, it's called the Roosevelt Bridge. Fun fact about this bridge, the first wheels to go across it were not from a car, they were from FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt's wheelchair. It's opened in the 1930s. Now on the right-hand side, these next 2 buildings I'm talking about, they are connected at the bottom here with the red brick and the green steel. Now that is Riverview 1 and Riverview 2, designed by James DeStefano in 2001 and in 2006. Now James DeStefano, that is the name that I've probably said on the tour the most. He's got a lot of buildings in downtown Chicago, but the interesting thing about him is, he is not from Chicago. He is not based here. He is based in and from New York City. Now the reason I mention that is because he likes to add some New York flair onto his buildings, a little homage to the city where he grew up. A good example of that tribute to New York, that New York flair, would be on Riverview 2. The building with this green rounded piece there. Camera eyes up to the very top of that rounded piece. Can y'all see what he's paying homage to that has to do with New York City? I'll give you a hint. Statue of Liberty's crown. Now where you see the crown piece up there, that is the penthouse to the building, which is currently for sale for $8.4 million. Now that is a hefty chunk of change, but I will say it comes with a lot more than a concrete room. I'm going to list out a few of the amenities that this penthouse comes with. Keep in mind, everything I'm listing is just meant for the one apartment. It is not shared in the apartment building. On the inside of that penthouse, there is a full-sized indoor basketball